Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am here with the second lecture of physics from Unit 2 Kinematics. The name of the topic is types of motion. Students, motion is divided into three main types: translatory motion, rotatory motion and vibratory motion. Translatory motion is further divided into rectilinear motion, curvilinear motion and random motion. Now I am explaining the translatory motion. It is the motion in which position of the body changes as a whole. Here the word whole means that each particle of the body moves uniformly in the same direction. For example, my body is made up of a large number of particles. When I walk on the ground, my whole body from head to toe moves in the same direction. So my body performs the translatory motion. Here you can look at this picture that here the person is moving. I take 3 points on its body. When after covering some distance, all these 3 points are moved in the same direction. So this person performs the translatory motion. Few examples of translatory motion are flying birds, moving car, rowing boats, moving horse. When the birds fly in the sky, whole body of the birds move forward. Similarly, all these objects, car, boat and horse, all these objects, when they move, the whole body of these objects move forward, and thus they perform the translatory motion. Translatory motion is divided into three types. Rectilinear motion. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Example: motion of a free falling objects. Free falling objects mean the objects that are not supported by anything. For example, if we throw a ball from a height, this ball is a free falling body and it moves to the ground. And when it moves to the ground, it follows a straight path. So the ball which is thrown from a height to the ground, this ball performs the rectilinear motion. Now the next type of translatory motion is the curvilinear motion. As its names indicate, that is the motion in a curved path. Few examples of curvilinear motion are cyclist racing on a curved track, car taking turn on the road, motion of the cricket ball being hit for a six. When a cricket ball is thrown by a bowler to the batsman when hit the ball follows the curved path and thus perform the curvilinear motion there. Now, this car is moving in a straight line. At the corner of the road, it takes turn. While taking the turn, it follows a circular path. So at the corner of the road, while taking the turn, this car performs the curvilinear motion. When two persons are playing with the ball, when one person throws the ball towards the other, the ball during its motion follows the curvilinear path, thus performs the curvilinear motion. Third type of translatory motion is the random motion. The word random means irregular, so this motion is also called the irregular motion. It is a motion performed by a body in any direction. Here the direction is not fixed. When the butterfly moves, it performs the random motion. When the football players plays in the football ground, they perform the random motion. Motion of the gas molecules also performs the random motion. The gas molecules are very fast moving inside the container. When they move fastly, they move in an irregular manner, so they perform the irregular motion. The irregular motion is shown by this diagram. Next type of motion is the rotatory motion. Rotatory motion is the spinning motion of a body about a fixed axis. It is the type of motion in which the particles of the body moves in a circle. These are the hands of the clock, and these hands of the clock are attached to a fixed point, and this fixed point is called the axis of rotation. Both these hands move around this axis, and thus both these hands perform the circular motion. So hands of the clock performs the rotatory motion. The wheels of a bicycle or a car. The wheel is fixed to the axle. Axle is the part of the bicycle with the help of which the wheel is attached to the bicycle. This axle is fixed and it is called the axis of rotation. The wheel of the bicycle moves around this axis and thus performs the rotatory motion. Moving fan is also the example of the rotatory motion. Moving fan. This ceiling fan is attached to the ceiling with the help of a stick, and this is known as the axis of rotation. It is fixed. When the fan moves, the wings of the fan moves around this axis of rotation, and thus the moving fan performs the rotatory motion. Third type of motion is the vibratory motion. It is defined as the repeated forward and backward motion of an object about the mean position. Its examples are vibration of the mass attached to a elastic spring. This is the spring. One end of the spring is attached to the wall and other end has a mass. When this system is at rest, it is at the mean position. When I hold this mass and move it towards right, the spring stretches and now this mass is at a new position. When I release the mass at this position, it moves towards the mean position. At the mean position, it does not stop and it moves further. No, when it moves further, it reaches at this position, and when it reaches at this position, the spring becomes contract. And here the motion of the mass does not stop. It moves back towards the mean position and then moves towards the another position like this. So the mass attached to the spring moves forward and backward about the mean position and thus performs the vibratory motion. Another example of vibratory motion is the pendulum. The position at which the pendulum is at rest is called the mean position. When I hold this pendulum and move to the right side, like at this position, when I release this pendulum, it again moves towards the mean position. But it does not stop at the mean position. It moves on the other side of the mean position, like it is here. It does not stop at this position. It again moves back towards the mean position. So first the pendulum moves to this position. After that it moves to the other side of the mean position. Again it does not stop here and again it moves towards the mean position. In this way it continues its motion. And this motion continued for a certain period of time, and the pendulum moves forward and backward about this mean position and thus performs the vibratory motion. When we sit over the swing, when the swing is not moving, the swing is at the mean position. When we push it forward and backward, then it performs the vibratory motion. Students, there are some bodies that perform more than one type of motion at the same time, like cricket ball. When we throw a cricket ball, this cricket ball performs the rotatory motion. But it also moves in a straight line, so it also performs the translatory motion. motion of the car. For example, if this is the car, when it moves on the road, it moves in a straight line and it moves as a whole, so it performs the translatory motion. And wheels of the car performs the rotatory motion. So cricket ball and car shows more than one type of motion at the same time. This is the end of my lecture. I hope that you have learned a lot. Allah Hafiz.